And there I am. It is a Friday. Hi, everybody. I'm your host for the next hour, Dave Allgood. Glad you guys are with us. We got a great show for you. We also have a guest, Bill Nershi of the String Cheese Incident. He just popped in. We're going to talk to him here in just a little bit. He might even, he's breaking out his acoustic guitar. He's going to play a little bit with us. A little preview before their big show tomorrow at the Alaska State Fair. So we're looking forward to talking to him in just a minute. He just landed, so he's getting the mic on and everything. So we'll talk to him in a little bit. And what a nice get. He's a fellow Coloradoan, so I'm looking forward to talking to him as well. But first, speaking of the fair, that's where we find Jackie Purcell today. Hey, Jackie. Yeah, maybe you can tell us what to expect tonight and this weekend for those fair goers and concert goers.
So back to you, Dave.
All right, thanks a lot, Jackie. Here are your top 4 headlines at 4. 18 people were rescued from a boat near Valdez. The tour boat ran aground near the Columbia Glacier around 4:30 yesterday afternoon. The U.S. Coast Guard sent a response boat and 2 helicopters to pick up the passengers and crew just before 9:30 that evening. They were all delivered to the Valdez airport. The 75-foot Lulu Belle had 19 people on board. The captain stayed with the boat overnight and refloated it at high tide. And make sure to tune in this Labor Day for an Alaska's News Source special, Seeking Shelter, Seeking Solutions. It's an in-depth investigation into the homeless crisis here in Anchorage, touching on some tough topics such as proposed sanction camps, children on the streets, and the unavoidable winter that is approaching. Our investigative team traveled all the way to Houston, Texas to learn how they have drastically cut the number of people living on their streets. And it takes a look at how their city can serve as a model for places such as Anchorage. Seeking Shelter, Seeking Solutions will air this Monday, September 4th from 6:30 to 7 p.m. on Channel 2. An East Coast town is dealing with the opioid crisis by making a life-saving overdose drug readily available. Johnson, Vermont is offering Narcan in a free vending machine. They unveiled it yesterday on International Overdose Awareness Day. Drug users and their loved ones can anonymously access the machine around the clock, free of charge. And polar bears are facing more than just a loss of sea ice. The bears have been listed as threatened for more than a decade, and climate change has impacted their habitat. Now researchers claim they can gauge the effects of human-caused greenhouse gas emissions on polar bear cub survival rates, but others say that while the study shows a correlation between emissions and polar bear cub survival, it doesn't indicate a direct cause and effect. And this is your chance to get involved. September is Hunger Action Month, and Alaska's News Source is highlighting food insecurities in the state this month. You can help at Fred Meyer by rounding up your grocery bill or buying a bag to help feed those less fortunate. Food shouldn't be an impossible choice. You can also find more information on our website under the tab Feeding Alaska. Well, they play a little bit of everything from calypso to rock and bluegrass. And while it might be hard to pin them down, a definition, we've pinned down their guitarist, vocalist, and founder. We talked to a member of the String Cheese Incident before they take the stage at the Alaska State Fair tomorrow night for their long show. That's up next.
This newscast is brought to you. You're watching Alaska's News Source.
And welcome back, everybody. Man, I'm not alone. Give me a little, like, 2 chords. Ba-ba-bow. CBS 5 at 4. Bill Hershey Nershi, the founder of the String Cheese Incident is with us, and they're going to be playing tomorrow night at the Alaska State Fair, and they are legends in Colorado. And right away, we know you're a jam band, but it's going to be a 4-hour show.
Oh yeah, two sets.
Yeah,
a lot of music, and yeah, we're really excited to be in Alaska and play some music.
And I think you're ahead of a new album you got coming out.
Yeah, we have an album coming out on the 8th of September called "Lend Me a Hand."
Yeah, well, good. And what can your followers, your thousands of legions of followers, expect?
From the album, I would say that the followers of String Cheese can expect some really good songs. Feel really good about the group of songs that we put together for this album.
Yeah. You're Colorado. You guys started in Colorado, and you were so Colorado. One of our producer's friends said they are so Boulder. And I don't know if that's a moniker you want. I mean, because now the state's bigger than just Boulder. But
yes.
How has Colorado kind of shaped what you guys do?
Well, we started out in Crested Butte.
Yep.
and quickly, yeah, beautiful place, and quickly moved over to Telluride and started playing music there. So we're from the mountains, and we met during the ski season. We all skied together and started playing music together there.
It's a great story. It's a fun story.
Our first tours were Telluride, Crested Butte, Moab, and we would ride and climb and ski and play music in the time in between.
Yeah, when Moab was just a spot. Now it's huge. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But well, talk about tomorrow night. What can folks expect? And I know you kind of said that, but 4 hours, and what do you guys?
Yeah, everything from punchy songs and everything from bluegrass to funk to Latin to African music. We're all over the map, and you know, we try to keep people dancing, keep people up, and of course, we'll do some exploratory jams. You know, that are journeys that we hope we can take the folks in Alaska on with us.
Well, good. Well, there's so much we could get to, and you've played, and I just know that Red Rocks is a great venue, and you guys have been fortunate to play there a lot. And but we're glad you're here, and maybe you could play a little something as we head into the break here. We got a couple of minutes.
Yeah, this is a tune of mine off the new album that we have coming out, and this one is called Eventually.
Good.
Seems all my life I've been burning like a star on a clear summer night, reminded that I'm always learning. I have faith things will turn out all right. But who I am and who I want to be, it's gonna take some time, but I'll get there eventually. Spent all my time pretending as the days came and went with the wind, and I looked for love with no ending. Didn't see that I found myself a friend. Who I am, who I want to be, it's gonna take some time, but I'll get there eventually.
Little advice for all of us, right? We're going to get there eventually. So, well, congratulations. I know you guys are celebrating 30 years coming up as well.
30 years, yes. This December will be our 30th anniversary.
Yep.
And yeah, we're hitting a lot of milestones right now. You talked about Red Rocks.
Yep.
We played our 50th show at Red Rocks this year.
Yeah, that's
the 49th show was with John Fogerty.
I saw that picture. Yeah.
And we played a whole set of John Fogerty's songs, Creedence Clearwater Revival tunes, and it was really great. It was a great weekend.
Well, fantastic. Well, Bill, Hershey, Nershi, I know it was so short, but we're glad you came, and thanks for making time for us.
Okay, thank you, Dave.
You guys can catch them right there. Look at the screen. They're going to be at the ConocoPhillips Borealis Theater, 4-hour show. The tickets at alaskastatefair.org. Tomorrow night, 6 o'clock. You do not want to miss. There's going to be fun and a hoot. I don't know if that's a good word.
Right.
The string cheese incident, everybody. Bill Nershi, thank you so much.
You got it.
All right, we'll be right back, folks.
To that rain, Dave, I'd like to chop it up
Oh, God, don't hit your...
and give it to people who are in drought.
Oh,
Back to you.
Oh my God, it's Jackie Bunyan, everybody. Yeah, where's Babe? Where's that blue ox? I thought she had a blade cover on that thing, so doing fine. All right, thank you, Jackie.
Lumberjacky.
Yeah, lumberjack. E. All right, there you go. All right, here's a look at what's coming up at 5 right here on CBS 5. That's funny.
Alaska's news source.
Happy Friday, everybody. He's got a career, but he may have a future as a singer. The little boy who runs a lemonade stand is branching out thanks to some high-profile contacts. Susie Sue tells us about his limitless attitude.
You're watching Alaska's news source.
And welcome back, everybody. Hope you're having a great Friday. The weekend's here, long weekend. And Jackie's out at the fair with that statewide forecast, what you can expect for the Labor Day weekend out there. And look at her. Oh, it's a mobile weather lab. Hello.
I am, but you know what? I've run into a little bit of a problem, Dave. I was wondering if after you get off the air there, you could come out here to the fair, because I locked myself.
All right, thanks, Jackie. And by the way, Jackie, if you scan the QR code on the side, it's got the number to a locksmith. A locksmith. All right, she's gone. All right, 7.5 stories of bat guano. That's right, that's a lot of poop. It's in one of the largest bat colonies in the world. Even so, as Alicia Nees reports, the bats are in trouble, and this protected area is spreading the word about the much maligned creature. Coming up, we're going to meet this guy.
Nick Danger.
And he's a former pro wrestler. And Nick, we're going to wrestle a little bit. You're going to be gentle with me, aren't you?
No, wrestling's real.
Oh, you wouldn't hit a guy with glasses, would you?
Well, let me tell you something, Four Eyes.
What?
The glasses are off. Time to go to town.
What the hell? That's coming up next on today's All Good News.
See you like that.
You're watching Alaska's news source.
And welcome back. Nick Danger has lived a life, and he's not done yet. The former WWF pro wrestler stays busy setting world records and now being the good guy. Here at the 907 Alaska Pro Wrestling Training Gym in Anchorage, there's so much joy in watching former pro wrestler Nick Danger
And then my pro wrestling state license from Oregon. I also had one for...
reminisce, thumbing through a notebook of career memories.
So this is my book. I got all kinds of wrestling history in here.
Almost a decade in the 90s of Danger and familiar famous faces.
So here's a picture of me with The Undertaker and the Big Boss Man. That was The Undertaker's very first wrestling match. Earthquake and Typhoon, the largest tag team in the history of the world, over 1,000 pounds between them. So, and I was 300 pounds in the middle, so that's 1,300 pounds of flesh.
So how did Nick Danger get into pro wrestling? Kind of like a movie.
So here's what happened. I was working out at Gold's Gym over on Arctic Boulevard, and I was at the time benching about 625 pounds.
It was 1990 and pro wrestlers were in Anchorage for a match working out.
Macho Man Randy Savage came up to me, and he said, "Boy, kid, that's a great bench press." He goes, "Have you ever thought about professional wrestling?" And I said, "No, I try to avoid it as much as I can, so leave me alone, I'm working out." So he walked away.
So a year passed and another invitation, and this time Nick took the offer.
So I flew to New Jersey and started in the school, and 8 weeks later I graduated and was offered a contract for the WWF.
And that started a 9-year career of being the fall guy.
So you wrestled all the time, but you always lost. But you were the bad guy, so that's...
Nick was good at being the bad guy. He retired in 2010, but at 70, he's still dangerous.
I am like the strongest old man in the world, apparently. So I've had for the last 8 years, I've had the state, national, and world record for my weight category in age.
396-pound bench press. Impressive, kind of like his story of his famous co-worker, wrestler Randy the Macho Man Savage.
I was on tour with Randy Savage, and everybody knows, "Hey, I'm Randy Savage, brother, what's going on?" And we always said, you know what? This has got to be a gimmick, this voice thing. So we went into his room at 3 o'clock in the morning and woke him up until there was a fire to see what his voice was. And by God, it was the same voice. So we were like, what? Okay, we quit. It's you, man. Good for you.
Well, we decided to do our own version of comedians riding in cars getting coffee with a twist. Can I get a chop for the road?
Yeah, and then whenever you want to go to the ring, we can do that too. So.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thanks. That didn't hurt you, did I?
No.
Because you kind of do a little bit.
I needed a slap in the head.
Yeah, no, thank you.
You can do one more?
Yeah, sure.
Let's do one more. And Nick, he was kind enough to humor my next question. So, Nick, I've always wanted to know, is wrestling fake?
Come on, Dave. You and me got to go to the ring, okay?
No, that was pretty real. So we went to the ring to get it on.
Nick Danger, Deadly Dave Allgood. This match is for the AWA World Heavyweight title. Are you ready, gentlemen?
I'm ready.
All right, let's make it happen.
Woo! Yeah.
We want a good, clean match. I don't want to see none of this, Dave.
Okay, none of this.
All right?
None of that. All right. first it was time for some Allgood mind games.
Well, look at those little cheeky poos. Somebody's a Nick Danger. You're so dangerous, you're gonna hurt Davey Allgood.
Now I'm gonna stooge him.
Oh, ow, ow, referee!
I'm gonna get his nose. Got your nose!
Oh, referee, that's a foul.
It's okay,
Get
Nick.
rid of
He
it.
can put it back.
Oh, really?
Yeah, here we go.
Nick was tiring of my shenanigans.
Hey, you wouldn't hit a guy with glasses, would you?
Oh, yes, I would. Now, there you go. Yeah.
Holy shnikes, he would and he did. Then he took me for a little spin. He's 70? What?
Hey, Four Eyes, what do you think about wrestling now, brother?
It's real, and to be so dangerous, Nick, he's a pretty good guy.
Nick Danger, everybody. Nick, you're a superstar.
I'm retired.
Nick, like his vintage Corvette, is a classic guy, and that's the Allgood News. Oh my God, he is such a nice guy. He's done so many things, Boy Scout leader. He's been here since 1984, I think, or 78. And although Nick does not like to talk about it, I did want to mention he's a decorated Vietnam vet, the recipient of, get this, 2 Purple Hearts. Oh, and he's a car guy. In addition to that classic Corvette we were in, he has 2 Hummers and a Cadillac Escalade to boot. So, all right, thanks again to him. All right, here's Major Garrett with what's coming up at 5.
On this Friday night, we go on the road with a Labor Day salute to hardworking Americans. Meet this 85-year-old who says she will never retire. We'll tell you why tonight on the CBS Evening News.
It's All Good with Dave Allgood on Alaska's news source is sponsored by Alaskan family-owned and operated Continental Auto Group, serving Alaskans since 1971.
Location, so I can either get ice cream or a soda, or both, perhaps. Back to you.
You know, and you could say, Jackie, it's an affair to remember. Yeah?
That's true. That is so true.
Thank you so much, Jackie. Great to see you again. Have a good weekend. All right, if you decide to just sit back and relax on your day off this Labor Day, we have a way you can do just that while also experiencing some of Alaska's most memorable moments throughout the years. Join us Monday for a special edition. Oh, welcome back, everybody. Smells like mummies. Researchers have dubbed it the scent of eternity. They've recreated an ancient aroma by whipping up a batch of mummification balm. They took the age-old recipe of beeswax, plant oils, and tree resins. That's the combo used to preserve a 3,500-year-old noble woman. Now, if you want a whiff of the formula, it will be on display at a museum in Denmark. No word if they plan to bottle and market the scent of a mummy. A study detailing the findings was published Thursday in the journal Scientific Reports. Scientific. It was a sea of red as fans turned out by tens of thousands to cheer on the women's volleyball team. 92,003 people crammed in the stadium at Lincoln, Nebraska, breaking the record and possibly fire codes all over the place. There were about 7,000 more people in the stands than the official capacity allows. Look at all that. Good gosh. The University of Nebraska's team says it beat the previous record of attendance for a female-led sporting event last year in Spain. 91,700 people showed up for a soccer event. The team is ecstatic over the sport.
It's pretty epic, and we got a lot to be proud of. And it's like I said, it's a powerful moment.
Oh my gosh, there are no words to describe that moment. It was seriously surreal, and Husker Nation's so amazing, and we're just so grateful for all the support we get here at Nebraska.
Wow, that's a lot of support. And now, as for the Huskers' performance on that historic night, they came up big. The 5-time national champs beat Omaha in all 3 sets, never trailing at any point. Man, every point you got to hear for that. All right, it takes 2 days to make and has lots of expensive ingredients, but is it worth the price tag? A bowl of soup in Ho Chi Minh City goes for over 4 million Vietnamese dong, or about 170 US dollars. The executive chef at the Oriental Pearl restaurant says pho, although popular, has not traditionally been considered fine dining, but he's reimagining the humble soup with shaved truffles and even some edible gold leaf. Nummy, nummy. Now, if you want more affordable versions, street vendors sell a bowl of between $1.50 and $3. That sounds very affordable. Awkward. They made a big to-do about finding a 200-year-old box. They even live-streamed opening it, but then crickets, a pile of dust, and a little bit of metal. The time capsule bust. Hey, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You're watching CBS 5 at 4. Happy Friday, everybody.